And we are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Player Ratings Show. And what a game it has been. People, right now, before we even get going, before we talk about the game or anything like that, I want you to go to the pinned comment, go to mypicks.app, and go and start rating the players, because we're going to go through all the players for the Springboks 1 to 23, give them a rating between 1 and 10, as well as select our full-time man of the match. So right now, that is what I need you people to go and do, is to go and get your ratings in. Go rate your players on the app, get your man of the match nominations in, and we'll do it in a second, shall we? Springboks 61, Japan 7, and yet it felt like the Boks did not even get out of second gear. What a performance it is from the world champions, once again reaffirming that they are really in a golden run of form. They just look so comfortable. I mean, even then, the work being done, Don Human's change to Rassie Russ was probably assuring him that even though the scrums weren't maybe as good as we wanted them today, that we'll fix that. At the end of the day, the big thing is we are not happy with anything less than what we are seeing right now, which is the Boks playing at close to their best consistently and for a full 80 minutes as well. And when we look at the try scorers and the times the tries are scored, that will kind of show that as well. The fact that we are very much pushing for that 80-minute performance, and that we are trying to make sure that we are as good and have the kind of energy in the first minute as we do in the 80th minute. And we're starting to really find that. Not to mention some of the experiments that worked today. I thought Zachary Portland, pretty solid on debut. Andre Estesen coming on the flank with a big performance. A couple of players who maybe were under a bit of pressure stepping up today. And all around, you can't really complain about much, to be brutally honest, because it was that good of a performance. But if we look at the try scorers, and I mean, let's look at the timeline, shall we, and see exactly kind of what happened when. So we had, it all started very early, you have to go all the way back, and Siyakalisi went over in the 4th minute with Sasha Fime Gomazulu adding the extras. Then it was the Sasha show for that kind of 10-minute period, because he scored a try in the 13th minute, converted, as well as scored a try in the 18th minute. And that was all of a sudden us, 19-0 up within 20 minutes. It's always difficult once you're 19-0 down to compete. You can't take your 3-pointers, for example. You've got to try and be a bit more expansive. You've got to try and be positive. And Japan were just under so much pressure at set piece. The Boks were looking good from scrum time. They were looking good at line-out with the maul. They were carrying well. They looked a big threat in the air as well. That aerial game is so good at the moment from the Boks. And a big worry, and this is probably one of the most significant events, Oxenchair off in the 90th minute. Gerstine come on. Oxenchair looks like he's done something to his knee. Very worrying if you're a Bok fan, because he is arguably one of our top 5 most important players. And if he's not involved next week against France, that is a massive loss. So hopefully Rassie will give us a bit of an update on the situation in the press conference a bit later, but that was probably the only downside of the game, is that injury doesn't look good. There was then a yellow card after a penalty try. Not that we really actually managed to make a count, to be perfectly honest. In fact, it took another yellow card before we actually got over. We can see there the bomb squad, inverted commas, Kwaka Smith, Andre Estes, and Wilco Louw, Jan Kobler, all coming on in the 45th minute. Bang, 2 minutes later, Wilco Louw goes over. A very good try as well, in fairness. And Sasha with the conversion. Then Japan got their solid try in the 53rd minute, where Yoshitaka Yazaki was caught off guard, to be perfectly honest. It was a penalty tap and go, and he basically tapped it, ran 2 meters and dove for the try line rather, and there was just nobody really there to stop him. But then we started to cook. Kurt Lawrence in the 58th minute, converted by Moin Liebach. Andre Estes actually had a more try disallowed, where he came around the corner and dove over. Would have been the nicest try in terms of him coming on at flank and doing that full sort of transformation. That was chalked off. But this was also a forced try, to be perfectly honest. It was face play, and he came on the angle and wrestled a couple players over. So it was a very good try for him to score. Moin Liebach then added another one. Kurt Lawrence try number 2 in the 67th minute, and it will update. But Jesse Creel went over there as well. And that was that. It was a very one-sided affair. In the first half, probably a bit sloppier from both sides. It was very wet. at the end of the day. And you can see that Jess Crew the try in the 79th minute. So it was wet, and the conditions definitely played some sort of role. And I think I'm almost quite impressed with the fact that we adapted to the conditions so well. In the first half, we went to the boot. We'll see it in a bit, hopefully, a lot. And it worked. It really did work. But if you look at the overview and stuff like that, it was just the possession dominated, carries dominated, tackles made. In fact, if you go to the stats, it shows a very one-sided game. 9 tries to 1, 120 carries, well over 500 meters run. I mean, that's insane. And especially for a Bok team, to be running 400, 500 meters in a game is mental. 8 clean breaks, 11 offloads. We're getting the ball 2 players in gaps, and that's what's contributing to those meters gained. It's not just Arcus Neyman as well. It's a lot of players who are bringing this offload game to their game and making those offloads and contributing in that way consistently as well. So it's very, very exciting. And more pass, for example, more possession. Defense-wise, Japan will be, 32 tackles missed is not a good stat at the end of the day. They did have to try and make a lot of tackles, in fairness. The turnovers in the first half were a lot better. Japan, a couple of turnovers on the ground, and that was just being a bit quicker. If we look at the stats over here, 2 lines lost of the 20 from the box, not dreadful. But we also won a couple of frustrating losses there. Scrums were, 100%. 1 scrum penalties as well. No issues to report at scrum time. We continued to dominate. Less penalties as well, no cards as well, so it got kind of that through pretty cleanly. And then if you look at the kicking there, 7 conversions. Marnie Lebo was 4 from 4 off the tee, and Sasha, I believe, was 3 from 5. No penalty goals and the likes of that. But just an all-round dominant performance. The concern will be the oxen chair injury, because a lot of people are saying, why did he have to play? The problem was availability of other players, inverted commas, and, being outside the test window and the likes of that. But at the end of the day, it was exactly what we needed. We got the hit out. So we got players playing, and it would have been a nice. I don't think it'll be a massive physical. I don't think players will wake up tomorrow feeling that sore, maybe tired, because I think they did have to run around, and that's obviously going to take a bit of recovery. But I don't think it was one of those games where we had to play at such a high level consistently that we're going to be fatigued next week, and that for me is probably one of the biggest positives. The fact that I don't think it took a lot out of us. So I think we'll be okay come next week. It also gives us confidence. You go and put 61 points on. We've been scoring over 40 points in the last 4 games. So the confidence going into next week will be high. France will be watching that game going, there's a lot to try and pick apart here. The high ball game. Ethan Hooker, very good in the air. We saw Moy Liebok getting in the air. We saw Kurtley Arnson getting in the air. Saw Franco Moster getting in the air. The breakdown. Malcolm Marks had turnovers today. Jasper Wiese had turnovers today. Quacker Smith had turnovers today. The scrum was very good. And you'll be bringing back a Thomas Totoy next week. You might be missing an oxen chair, which would be huge if it is. But Thomas Totoy is there next week at a tight end point of view. I don't think it was exactly important. You'll bring back an Evan Etzebeth next week. You'll bring back a Peter Steph Totoy next week. The lineouts look good. Just the 2 lost. So that was much better from a Malcolm Marks point of view. His lineouts were pretty good. And I think Jan Kobler was at least one of the 2 lost lineouts. Malcolm Marks might have been the other one. So that's where I think there's just so many positives, is the fact that there was no real areas of concern. And when there aren't areas of concern, you're sitting there going, well, that's all the boxes ticked. And that for me is the biggest takeaway from this game. So for me, very, very, very happy with what I saw. Let me know what you guys thought of the game. Let me know in the comments. And let's get into some player ratings, shall we? Because I've given you guys 8 minutes here for you guys go and get your player ratings in. Go to mypicks.app and let me know if you guys, where you guys are with your player ratings. If you finished them, if you've given your man of the matches, for example. I'm seeing the comments are coming in. Please do smash like on the video as well. Get your player ratings in, people. It's on mypicks.app. It looks a little bit like this. We're going to move to a creator mode so we can see exactly what's cooking over there, and we're going to have a lot of fun with this. So basically what happens over here, it brings up, and we're going to give them a rating between 1 and 10. Who was your man of the match? Kurtley Arnson, which is Klaar there. He is definitely going to be in the running. He'll definitely be a man of the match candidate because you obviously got the man of the match. But you got to get some other man of the match candidates. So somebody was mentioning you probably have to throw Sasha in there. To be perfectly honest, I think Sasha probably deserves to be in the chat. So, but give me some man of the match nominations here, people. Who else deserves to be in the conversation? And I'm going to give you guys that that honor of choosing the other nominations. So somebody was talking about Boggy Manambi, who apparently played very well for the Barbarians, which is very lacquer. But I need man of the match nominations here, people. Give me the nominations. Who else is going man of the match? And let me know what you're thinking about that. And so, what else we got, Jess? So, Firefly says Lurd. And I'm seeing another one with the Lurd. So, I'll back the Lurd, the Jager shout. It's a nice shout. So, Lurd. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Now I'm pressing buttons and things all resizing. Oh, goodness. Lurd, the Jager. International President says Franco Mostert. I love the Mostert shout. I love the Mostert shot. Big fan of that shot. Is anybody else backing the Franco Mostert shot? I've had 3 for Lurt. Anybody else backing the Franco Mostert shot? Is that going to be an option for us? What are we thinking? Give me your other options. Ideally, I'd like to have 4 options. I like to have 4 options. Clint DeVos is saying, okay, Sneyman. So, I mean, talk about basically 3 locks being in the mix. Collins backing the Franco Mostert shot. I love that. I love that. Because he was one of the players we spoke about being under a bit of pressure this evening. And the fact that he has not played a lot this year, you know, and I love the fact that then he pitched up today and he put, and you guys are backing the fact that he put in a close to man of the match performance. And we have to probably put Sasha in there as our last one. I'm seeing a couple of other options. So Sasha, Farmagoma Zulu. I love that. 2 forwards, 2 backs. Let's get that poll out and we will award that at the end of our ratings. Jacob Bites saying, Sash Famagoma Zulu put Japan to bed by himself. Malabongwe says, my man of the match is Damien. Well, you also go choose your man of the matches on the My Picks itself. So Oxen Chair only played 90 minutes, which is 24% of the match. Because, you know, we give you these stats, these incredibly important stats that you would just never get elsewhere. But we give them to you out of the kindness of our hearts here on My Picks, because we're serious about these things. So, unfortunately, with Oxen Chair, he only played that. So, we're going to give him a 6, which is, I always say, is an average 6. That's usually in fact, I just want to do a bit of a refresh to make sure everyone is, because the fan rating doesn't seem to be putting in. There it is, 6.6. But I'm just going to make sure. So, 6.6, a couple of people have given him a 7. That's probably a bit of sentiment in terms of, well, he only got, so many minutes and the likes of that. But he was good. He's gotten well for what he did. Just didn't play 90 minutes at the end of the day. So that's the main problem in inverted commas. And thankfully, I thought that Kira Stillekamp was pretty good in his absence. So shout out to him for getting his first game of the year and stepping up when we needed him to. So we're going next to Malcolm Marks. And where are we at with Malcolm Marks? I mean, 3 carries, 4 meters run, 5 passes, 5 out of 5 tackles. I'll probably give a 7. Maybe an 8, actually. Maybe 7 sounds harsh. It is harsh. I'm going to go back and give him an 8. He was good. He was very good. Turnover as well. And you can see by the fact that that's changing a few times that a couple more ratings are coming in here, people. So get ahead of me. Get ahead of me on the player ratings here. So that my player ratings, very interesting, by the way, from seeing, switching between Sash Farmagama Zulu and Kurt Lawrence and man of the match. It's wang, 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 wang. But get onto My Picks and get your player ratings in before me so that you guys can weigh into what that fan rating is saying. Porfin, I thought was pretty solid. I mean, 9 out of 9 tackles, by the way. I actually hadn't seen that. 5 meters around, 2 carries. I looked all right at the scrum times. I'm going to give him a solid 7. 2 thumbs up for me from a debut. 6.9. You guys basically agreeing, but I think 2 thumbs up. And I think, maybe not the hardest team to make a debut, but it's not a tier 2 nation, really. I mean, Japan, they've beaten us before, but Japan are a reasonable side. You're not playing against a Georgia. No disrespect to Georgia. Maybe a bit more physical, in fairness. Maybe it might have been a bit of a better test. But I do think Japan's a better side. But you're not playing USA. You're not playing a Chile, for example, an offensive team in Namibia. and I thought he was decent. He did. You know what I always like to think, and this is what I remember messaging Vincent Tuka after his debut, and I said, "You just looked the part. You looked so comfortable. You know, he just looked like he'd been playing there for a while. He didn't look new to it." And I said, that is the best compliment I can give you, is the fact that you looked like you belonged. And I think Zachary Porthen, there was no imposter syndrome over there whatsoever. There was no one going, who's this kid and why is he playing? I think everyone was quite happy saying, yeah, listen, this kid looks fine, looks decent. He made some big hits, got through a lot of work, which is the main thing. He is nice and mobile. I think we saw that this evening. So in general, I'm very happy with what he brought today. And I'm really hoping that this is the start of a very, very exciting career. So I like the fact that we've backed him and given him a decent rating there as well. So next up is Arcus Neyman. Oh, jeepers, what a game he had. Absolutely everywhere. 9 carries, 12 meters run, 4 offloads, 9 passes, 5 out of 7 tackles. Good in the line as well. You got to give him an 8, don't you? I mean, that's a top performance. 7.6. Love it. The feel-good energy, Archer, is tremendous. Let's go to some of the other comments. People talking about Sash and the likes of that. I'm not there yet. You know, let's talk about where we are at here. And right now, where I'm at is Arcus Neyman, and a full 80 minutes from him. Looked the part. Did the business. Siklisi winning hearts out there with interviews as always. He was also very good today. K3S says, Stevie looking hyped today. The boys looked up for today and really good to see. I am hyped. It's a Saturday. I've got a beer in hand. Ireland versus New Zealand in an hour and a half. I've just watched the lads do the business. Playing cricket tomorrow. Play cricket today. Life is good. I look like a toddler. You know, we're moving out here. We're moving. But Arcus name I thought was very, very good. Now, Lewis. Where's Lewis gone? We've lost Lewis. Oh no. We've lost Lewis. Let me try to see if we can get that fixed. We'll try and get that sorted now. But we go to Siklisi in the meantime. Very good game. You know, try, 40 meters run. I'm probably at an 8 for him. Did the business, looked very, very good. And a 7.8. Yep, we're there. It's the good vibes out here. It's good vibes. And very chuffed to see that he's really playing at some of the best rugby I think he's seen in the last couple of years. I really do. You got some very weird naysayers talking about the fact that he's getting old and the likes of that, but I don't think I've watched a game with him and I went, oh, he looks old. You know, that's never been that's never really been a thing that I've felt from about him. Now, this man over here, we talked about the fact he was under pressure. We talked about the fact that he hadn't played a lot of the rugby this year. And, you know, was he on the way out, for example? Is his age catching up to him? Where is he at? Well, I think today he put a lot of that down to bed. Yes, it's Japan, but at the same time, Japan are a quick game. You know, you've got to be able to move around the park. You've got to be able to cope with the pace of the game. And he really, really got going today and put in so much hard work. I thought he was very good. Very, very chuffed with what I saw from him. And I think he kind of basically reminded us that he's there. He's out there and he's contributing and he's not going anywhere just yet, which is what I'm very, very chuffed with. So I'm going to give him a 9. Going to give him a 9. And maybe it's over generous, but I was just 7.6. I mean, I thought he was probably had a stronger game than Arcus Neyman, and the fact he was nominated for man of the match might also indicate that. Maybe I'm getting ahead of myself, but I just thought Franco Masters' work rate. And like there was a moment in the 76th minute, I reckon it must have been, where we went up to the up and under, and everyone turned and looked and went, who is it? And he said, no, it's mine. And he ran after it. He couldn't catch it. The ball came backwards off him towards Kubas Rana, who then knocked it forward. But the fact is, at that stage, he had probably put in the most work, and yet he was still the first player there. And you can't coach that kind of work rate. Him and Peter Chef the Toy, Ruan Nokia is like a bit of a shadow of them in terms of being young and coming through. But you can't coach that desire, that engine, that work rate. It's you either have it or you don't. And Jacques says, thought Sos was done, but he showed he can still play. I think that's captured brilliantly. I think a lot of us were going... And like it was killing us. It was killing us. Like breaks my heart to think of life after Sos because he's finally getting his flowers. You know, people used to call him, he was too light, for example, the likes of that. And now he's played over 70 games for the Boks. Now everyone's going, oh, into the career. But now he said, no. Yeah, there's some younger players, but I'm still here, guys. I'm still here. Same as I thought Kobus Reinach has done that this year as well. Just said, listen, no. I'm still around. I can still draw. So, chuff with him. Jasper Wiese, maybe a bit of a quiet game from Jasper. Maybe not at his brutal best, but solid. Very, very solid. A couple of nice tackles, a very good turnover as well. So I'll give him a solid 7. Nothing wrong, I think, about that performance, but maybe not blockbuster. 7.7, I think maybe it's a bit generous. I think given the fact that 7.6, not a couple of people are jumping in. But I think that, for me, Franco Moss had a better game. So maybe it wasn't. But I think next week, obviously, we're going to see, hopefully, touch all the wood in the world. Next week, we should see the Jasper Wiese that we really, really know. Because, yeah, it's going to be all about him next week, really, in terms of the physicality of getting on top of those Frenchies and trying to physically dominate them. And it's going to be tough if we don't pitch up. Right, the good news, by the way, is that we have managed to bring back none other than Luat Diaga, so we can give him a rating for his 19 out of 19 tackles, his 4 passes, 3 carries, and his brilliant line-out work. It has to be a 9. It has to be a 9. 8.3. That's the highest rating we have, and deserved. Another player who I think at the beginning of the year, we were probably sitting there saying, is he still around? Is he still there? Like, he's kind of, we haven't seen him in 2 years. He had heart condition, and he's come back saying, shit, boys, lads, gentlemen and ladies. I mean, look at the eyes in that picture. Look at the focus there. You know what focus? Because he's got it at the moment. He really does. He's getting around the park like better than I've ever seen him. I think he's actually shifted a bit of weight. Maybe not as barbaric as he used to be. I mean, when he first came through, old baby-faced assassin's why he had to grow the beard. I mean, same, really. But he's getting over the advantage line. He's a bit of a different player. He's far more mobile. I think he's a bit quicker around the park. But the work rate has not dropped. Very, very good performance from him over there. And we're going to move to Kobus Reinach. Yeah, solid from Kobus. Solid. Again, I don't think necessarily as good as he's been in the last couple of games, where I think he has been very, very good. But decent. I'm probably at a 7 for Kobus. And a 7.1. We're pretty aligned. We always are. Really. And very interesting man of the match, by the way. 128 votes, 2% separating the top 2 there. It's a very heaty battle. So if you have not voted for your man of the match, go get yourself sorted, because it's getting hot in the comments. In fact, it's down to evens at the moment after 130 votes. So that's going to be a fun vote to get to in a bit. To speak of the man, Sash, look at those stats. Look, it always is inflated when you add points. But 16 points, 2 tries, 2 conversions, 15 carries, 80 meters run, 2 clean breaks, and all float, 11 passes, 5 out of 6 tackles. I don't think it's a 10 out of 10. He missed a tackle. That's not good enough. Not good enough. Maybe he doesn't even start next week. I gave Damian Willemse a 10 out of 10 based on that performance against the All Blacks. And that was good today from Sasha, but not a 10 out of 10 for me. Just a 9, Sasha. Do better. We expect more from you, actually. Coming with these 9 out of 10 performances, not 10 out of 10. Really. Wasting our time. I'm going to send this clip to him and say, come on. I didn't come here to watch 9 out of 10 performances. I want 10 out of 10s every single week. This man over here, look at those stats. Also, tackle missed. Bloody useless. 10 points, 2 tries, a try assist as well. 11 carries, 101 meters run. That's how you remind everybody I'm back. You go and beat New Zealand with Ethan Hooker and Cheslin Colby, Damian Willemse out here. And then you're going, oh, hang on, Kurt Lawrence, And to be fair, I didn't think Kurt Lawrence had the best few games for the Boks. And then he says, hey, just remember, and his strike rate in international rugby is phenomenal. It is so, so good. And it doesn't look to be slowing down, does it? Which is a really, really exciting thing. So let's hope he continues to contribute like that and keep scoring those kind of tries. It's another 9, though, out of 10. Has to be 8.6. What is Sasha? I didn't even check the fan rating, a 9. So Sasha very much winning the race at the moment. In the polls, he is just ahead of Kurt Lawrence. Interesting to see how that goes. Damien Delendi, Mr. Barbaric. We talk about some of the players maybe not having the physicality. This man just does not stop, does he? I'm giving him an 8. Very, very good today. 8.1. Glad you guys agree because he was very good. Somebody mentioned, is he pound for pound, one of the strongest guys in World Rugby? And I think he might be. I really think he might be. Because he just doesn't get brought down behind the advantage line. I would love to know what his gain line success rate is and how he's managed to make it 110%. Because he just doesn't go backwards. He might not throw your lofted passes and your chicken wing passes and stuff, but he just makes meters every single time he carries. And he's a very good decision maker as well. Jesse Creel, well, I think he responded today. I think he took a while to get going, but I think he responded pretty well. That try, obviously, just good support play, but he responded, and I thought that he kind of reminded us that he's still around, still got the form, still got the ability. I'm gonna give him a 7. I don't think he was phenomenal today, but maybe I'm being harsh. Look at me being harsh. The other day I was accused of being a Creel lover and not being fair about him. So now I'm out here. But I love that. I love that for him. So I thought he was good today. Ethan Hooker also very good today. I gotta give some people 7. Surely 7.2. There we go. You guys are kind of there. He had a good first half, very good on the high ball. Didn't get much with ball in hand, and I think that will obviously be to his detriment. He obviously needs more ball in hand to be able to contribute the way he would like to contribute. Colby at fullback, he was good. He was very, very good as a player today. At fullback, I don't think I'm completely sold. I don't think I didn't watch him today and go, Damian Willemse, you got no chance. I feel like I wouldn't say we missed Damian Willemse necessarily. But I think that we certainly didn't say Damian's out. And that for me is a really good thing. So yeah, I'm gonna give him I think I'm gonna give him 8 for his performance. As a fullback, I still don't think that's gonna be his position moving forward. Put it that way. I think that's the point I was very badly trying to make. Jacques says Chesney solid, not great. Balabonga says need to get Kirkley into the game more. He's a very dangerous runner. A lot of big debate going on between Sash and Moni. I just think they're both part of the plan at the moment. Jan Grobler, I thought was all right. 11 out of 12 tackles is a pretty solid setting off the bench, but maybe not phenomenal. 7, solid 7. We're very much aligned there. Good stuff, lads. We've got a Gerard Senekam. I thought he was very good. I thought that he got through some good work, scrummed well, carried well, and put in a good shift. So I'll probably give him an 8. I was impressed with him. 7.1, maybe I've been generous, but I thought he was solid. Volker Low is getting an 8. I don't care what you say, because look at that stat. 1 try, a tight try. I think who was it? Was it not? Is it France? No, who was it? Somebody scored their first Springbok try. It was Vincent Koch. This year, one of the tight heads. And it was bizarre. He's getting an 8 for that try. I always push it up. 7.8, so you guys are pretty close. I always push it up with that try. You got to push it up with a try. You have to. You have to. And going to Ruan Nokia now. Quiet with the bench. Give him a 6. 7.3. Quiet, I think is the right word. Andre Esthuizen. Hey, Andre the Flank Esthuizen. Flankerhuizen. Voorhuizen. Anything but Steenhuizen, I guess. We got to find a little nickname for him. Andre the Giant is obviously one of them, but he's a flank now. So we've got to find him something a bit more. Andre the Giant's not a bad name for a flank, in fairness, but we've got to find something. But I'm giving him an 8. I thought he was really good off the bench. 8.2. Love the work. Quagga Smith. No, maybe not as impactful as I'd like to see. Just the 1 try assist, just a couple of turnovers. He has energy, though, at the end of the day. In fact, yeah, that's silly. He was an 8. I think he was good today. 1 knock on, but apart from that, he just brings so much energy. Grant Williams, quiet. 7, decent, but quiet. And Moin Liebach, very good. 8 points, 4 out of 4, 3 carries. We didn't really look to get the backline going today because I think the conditions didn't really dictate or allow for it. But I still think he was very good off the bench. So I'm happy to give him an 8, 7.5. Right, people, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close out the voting there. And then we're going to be basically moving into our members only chat for a little bit. And so if you guys would like to join us and do a bit of a Q&A and the likes of that, then please do stick around or join the members club to be able to get part of that. So we're going to schedule that to go live in 5 minutes. Man of the match, we're going to end the poll. Let's see what it says. And into the Ace to Hazen. I love that. Ace to Hazen. Man of the match, Kurt Lawrence gets 40% of the votes. We're going to get back to number 11, Kurt Lawrence. We're going to select him as our man of the match. There it is. You can see the little trophy next to him. And we're going to get to 23. And there we go. And now I'm going to generate that. So I'll just do it in a bit. So we're going to submit our player ratings. Lovely, lovely, lovely. We're going to share my ratings. That's going to basically generate a little graphic with the score and what we said, what you guys said. And you guys can go do the same thing and share with your mates. You know, go and send your ratings to your mates and let them know what you thought of the players and where you're at. This is my favorite feature of this entire thing, is the fact that you can go and check exactly what the player rates are. And that's what it looks like. Might be a bit small for you guys to read. Obviously, if you send it to a man on WhatsApp, it's a lot better. But, let's go through it, shall we? So, Oxenchair, 6, didn't play a lot. Malcolm Marks with an 8. Zach Paulson with a 7. The 2 8s for the 2 locks. No, sorry, 9. We gave a 9 to Luat Diaga. Went 8, 7, 9 for the back row. Jasper Wiese a bit quiet there. 7 and 9 for Kobus Ranach and Sash Famagoma Zulu. Our centers getting 8 and 7. The back 3 going 9, 8, 7. So no one getting less than a 6. The only person getting a 6 in the starting lineup was Oxenchair, just because he only played 20 minutes. Off the bench, we gave Johan Kobela a 7. Gave Gerard Stenenkamp an 8. And just on a new point, so I'm just going to create that. Right, so in 5 minutes, we're going to be moving this to a members only chat. So you guys, if you'd like to join that chat, please do join the members club, because we'll be transferring to that very, very shortly in about 5 minutes time. So at about, I just looked at my watch. I'm not even wearing one. At about 22, and we'll do 5 minutes of some Q&As, maybe a bit longer, and then we'll move into the build up for Ireland versus New Zealand later. And but I think if you look at those ratings, I think they're pretty fair. I'm interested to see what Rusty has to say about the whole sort of situation. But I think in general, he'll be very happy. Overall, there's work-ons. We weren't flawless. It wasn't like, oh my goodness, like we are just the best thing since sliced bread and no one's ever going to touch us. But it was the perfect combination of getting a hit out, and you could see we progressively got better and things started to get a little bit better. I'm just watching Scotland running out now. That game should have actually almost be done now. Against the USA earlier. So I think that it ticked all the boxes we needed to tick. It was a good run out. It was a good hit out. We managed to give Zachary Paulson a debut. We managed to get minutes into Franco Moss and see where he's at. We managed to give more minutes between like Kobus Ranach and Sasha Famagoma Zulu, get them going once again ahead of the France next week, get minutes into the likes of a Jasper Wiese, who hasn't played a lot of rugby in the last few months, but very good when he has played for the Boks. So it really did. When they would have spoken about what the plan was and why we wanted to have this game, I think we would have very much achieved that goal with what we had. And that's the main thing. Did we get out of the game what we wanted? And for me, the answer is a big yes. And anything that's a big yes is all that I care about. So, yeah, I think we've done very well in that regard. I think that we'll chat about now the members only sort of stream. Be interested to see the changes based on this, because you will see PSF 12. Maybe Franco Moss doesn't make the side, but I tell you what, you've got a tough time picking locks next week, because you look at our lock ratings over there and what we gave them and what the fans gave them. And the fans gave Franco Moss a 7.6. They gave Luat Diaga an 8.3. They gave Arcus Stamen a 7.6. We gave them 8.99. I gave them 8.99. So, your 3 locks today were all 7.5 above out of 10. Very good. Ruan Nokia came off the bench. He's been so good this year. And you've got this guy called Eben Etzebeth waiting in the wings. So it's exactly where we want to be, where we've got selection headaches. And I'm all for selection headaches. I love me a selection headache, because it just shows you that the depth is there, for example, that people are fighting for the jersey. This is the thing. You got to fight for this thing. You got to fight for every single time you get an opportunity to wear the jersey. And that's, you keep talking about, yes, you know, and I think the big thing is they've always been fighting for the jersey, and we always talk about fighting for the jersey and the fact that this jersey means something, and it does. I'm not saying it doesn't, but I think for maybe the most relevant now in a long time is people are here to take that jersey off of you. You know, that is not a case of you are an 80 cap box. Look at Andre Pollard. Andre Pollard has done nothing wrong. He can't get into the team at the moment. And that's what we talk about, fighting for the jersey. It's the fact that it is so not for granted. And I think that's why I've enjoyed this year so much, is that there's so many players vying for different positions. And it's a case of no one, absolutely nobody feels safe in their jersey. And that's where you want to be. You want to make it in a situation where no one feels that the jersey is theirs. And I think it's a really, really cool position to be in. Anyway, people, we're going to be moving to our members only chat in just 40 seconds. So please, if you'd like to join that chat, please do consider becoming a member. We're going to do a bit of a Q&A, ask me some questions, go through some of the selections that we might see for next week, for example. And we'll do that for like 5 to 10 minutes as a bit of a thank you to all the members, especially the ones that joined today. And then we'll move into the build-up for Ireland versus New Zealand. And that game starts at 10 o'clock. We will obviously be live for that as well. And it's going to be fun. Going to be a fun game, I think. I think we're in for a good time. So let's hope that they deliver as a really good game. But people, thank you very much for joining me. We'll see you guys all now on the members only chat. See you guys later if you're not. And yeah, welcome.